Once, in a castle full of gold, sat a greedy princess on her throne. She was disliked by her people due to her rudeness and self-absorption. She took money from the poor, demanded people hand their gold to her, and laughed whenever someone was suffering. Those who defied her got their heads chopped off or were humiliated in front of a crowd. She had one problem, however. She had no prince to call her own. She searched and searched, but no sin prince wanted her. The insane ones she tossed in the mud. She wanted a handsome and rich prince to be with her for the rest of her life. She was sitting on her shiny golden throne, deep in thought, before the sounds of clanking and claws softly tapping the marble floor echoed the castle. She snapped out of her thoughts, only to see knights escorting a tall creature with a shiny, fluffy cloak containing small, shiny stones all over, along with a beaked mask, also containing shiny stones on it, into the overly bright and golden room. "State who you are and your business, bird brain," the princess snapped, glaring down from her throne and crossing her arms. She was not amused, though she did, for a split second, eye the cloak the creature had on, not being able to help eyeing the beautiful piece of cloth. The creature did not flinch, nor did they shake in fear. Instead, they took a bow with respect, closing both their eyes before opening one of their eyes and looking up at the princess. "Your Highness," they began, standing straight again, "I am the peacemaker of these lands. I couldn't help but sense your troubles from within my forest and come to help you." "Help me? Oh, please! What can you, a stupid lowlife, do to help me?" "I can't do much," the peacemaker replied, "though I do have an offering that can help you with your situation." The princess snorted, and with a snicker she replied, "Enlighten me." The peacemaker reached into their cloak, the knights drawing their swords, preparing for the worst, only for the peacemaker to pull out a clenched hand, hold it out, and open it, revealing a shiny pink stone. "This," the peacemaker began, "is a rose quartz. It will help you find love, but be warned, it won't help you just instantly find—" Yeah, whatever, just give me the stupid rock." The princess snatched the rock from the taloned hand of the peacemaker, holding the smooth stone in her hand. The peacemakers sighed, shaking their head in disappointment. They tried to warn her, but they knew she wasn't going to listen, so they didn't try to force her info on her. She was just going to have to learn her own. The peacemaker turned to leave, stopping midway to look at the princess. The only words that came from them before they left were, "Don't say I didn't warn you." As the peacemaker left the room, the soft clicking of their taloned feet under the cloak could be heard echoing before the doors shut behind them. Everything was eerily silent now, besides the distant clicking of talons on marble. The princess gazed at the rose quartz in her hand, deep in thought. She stroked the smooth stone with her thumb. Was this really going to help her? Well, there was only one way to find out. She stood from her golden throne and ran down the halls, gold and white passing by as she ran towards the large doors and threw it open, gazing out at the kingdom, being hit with the sounds of people having fun and the smell of food. Her people were having a party without her. How dare they? No matter. That didn't matter to her at the moment. What mattered was getting herself a husband. She walked through the cheery crowd of her people, some of them avoiding her or even stopping and looking at her with either fear or disgust on their faces. She looked around the sea of people and spotted 3 princes talking to one another. The first prince is Alan. He was the prince of the south. He was the quietest of the 3, but was a very good leader, wearing clothes fit for colder environments, a big puffy coat in the color purple, long dark hair, eyes as white as snow, long lashes, and dark skin. The princess shook her head. Although he was very handsome, she did not like the cold, and therefore he was out. The next prince was Siren, the prince of the west. He was a cheerful prince who loved to make people happy. He was a young prince who wore a t-shirt with sunset colors painted on a white shirt, shorts, blue scaly skin, and sandals. His eyes were the color of rubies, red and fiery. He was too unprofessional looking, and she didn't like that. And plus, he looked kind of fishy. No pun intended. The last prince was Duke. He was the prince of the East, a wise, older prince, soon to be king. He was a little bit on the older side, but had great wisdom. He wore a robe made of silk covered in gold. He was extremely rich and could tame dragons with his gentleness, and that is exactly what she liked about him, but the issue was he was too old. She thought for a moment before deciding to approach the three. "Hello, gentlemen," the prince said in a sweet tone, catching their attention. Siren stopped smiling. Duke raised an eyebrow, and Alan just glared. Duke just guided Siren away, while Alan glared for a while, took his plate of food, and walked away. "Hey, where are you three going?" As the three of the princes left, the princess grew angry. The peacemaker lied to her. She thought she could get any man with the stone, but she learned it's not how it worked. She gathered her best guards and left for the forest where the peacemaker resides. Deep within the forest, the princess searched and searched with her guards for the peacemaker, fuming. The dark green forest had rock creatures with moss all over them, peacefully sleeping. The ones awake saw the greedy princess and began burying themselves and their young due to her bad vibes. She just snorted in response and continued on, kicking one of the young rock creatures in her way. The mother rock creature scurried to her baby and protected the child from the princess. The princess saw the peacemaker doing God knows what, with their back turned to them. "Hey, Birdbrain, your stupid rock didn't work!" The princess held the stone, anger pulsing through her veins. Despite what the princess said, the peacemaker didn't turn to face her. "Hey, I'm talking to you! Do you even know how to treat royalty? Probably not, because you're just a stupid lowlife. Here, have your useless rock back." The princess chucked the stone hitting the back of the peacemaker, but they didn't budge. "Oh, so you want to play games, huh? I can play games too. Guards, do me a favor and bring me their head." The guards approached, swords drawn as the peacemaker stood, unmoving. Suddenly, with a rapid movement, what they thought was the peacemaker turned around, squealing loudly as if some sort of angry wild pig. The guards stopped, startled by the loud sound. The supposed peacemaker began to morph, their body twisting, stretching, and bending angrily into wild shapes. The princess watched the guards back away, surprised and extremely frightened by their sudden display of madness, and questioned what was going on. She herself was also full of fear, watching the creature bend in such a twisted way. The squealing suddenly stopped, and there was silence. When they stopped covering their faces, the creature was gone. The princess looked around before scoffing and turning to her guards. "Well, that was something. I was barely even—" Before she could finish her sentence, she felt something hot against the back of her head. She slowly turned, only to be face to face with the beast of wrath itself. The beast had a spooky mask, the eyes and mouth agape in such an inhumane way, it made the guards and princess drain of color. They had a black mane around their neck and head, similar to a lion's, only unkempt. The beast's skin was scaly, similar to dragon skin, and they had 3 clawed fingers on each of their 4 arms. The princess stared up at the beast, face drained of color. Hello." The beast said nothing in response. Nice hair. Do you perhaps use shampoo on it?" Again, no response. The princess slowly backed up before bolting away, leaving behind her men to face the beast, as it suddenly squealed like a pig again and attacked the guards in rage from the princess running. Screams of her men echoed as she ran from the bloodshed, running for dear life as dark green, brown, and gray were passing by in a blur. After a while, she smelled something rotting and began to hear the trees being torn from their ground and knocked down, footsteps rapidly approaching along with the squealing. The beast tore up the forest and raged at her, disturbing the peace, and was closing in on the princess fast. The princess tripped and fell, rolling onto her back and crawling backwards as the beast closed in. The princess began begging for dear life. The pleas fell on deaf ears as the beast crawled closer and closer.
"You made a grave mistake coming here, greedy one,"
the monster suddenly spoke, voice raspy and possessing a deep growl within the words.
"You have done nothing but hurt people with your selfishness. Your kind is the reason why this world is corrupted, soaked in evil. You may had many chances to appreciate the good in this world offered you, to appreciate how good you have it, but your greed blinds you. Nothing satisfies you. You are beyond saving. Your apathy is an infection to this forest. You must be removed before you infect the forest further.
Before she knew it, the princess began to scream and choke out in pain as the beast tore into her flesh, shredding her to pieces. Despite how loud she screamed from the forest, no one back at the palace could hear her. Her people were blasting music and enjoying themselves from a distance, unaware of their princess being brutally murdered within the deep green forest. No one ever saw the princess again, but they didn't care, for they had quickly replaced her within a few weeks of her disappearance.